Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Merina Kingdom. In previous episode, we managed to pass or abolish the serfdom, and we tried abolishing the slavery as well, but we didn't quite manage to do that. We were trying to pass the legacy slavery first because the banning the slavery outright would have made the landowners radicalize and then leave the government, which means that we wouldn't be able to pass the law in the first place. But this time, now we got 30% chance of passing the law. Landowners are quite upset, admittedly, but I think we can slowly improve their opinion. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But if we can pass the law, then that's already going to be... Oh, there we go, yeah. The approval rating is going up again, or approval of us is going up actually quite rapidly, mind you. We've got a lot of loyalists, to be fair. Oh, wow, yeah, we've got almost 20% of our population are loyalists. Not bad. But yeah, if we can pass the slavery ban, that's going to be brilliant. And after that, we can start slowly getting to the point where we can start expanding somewhere. Probably into Africa, either through Oman or Portugal. If we attack Portugal and ask some... Actually, that's out of curiosity. Oh, Portugal is part of British market, so that would be potentially a no-no. Britain would most likely side with them. France might support me, but like I would then need the French to do the landing in there, and that's probably not going to happen. What about Oman? If I go for war against you for Zanzibar, of course I need to have a fleet for that, which I do not have yet. I will start building that once I can, but I can't do that. So Oman, if we go for Zanzibar, that would be a potential solution. And then of course if we get colonization, I think... Since the Maasai won the war against the British, I think that may have stopped the British colonization through their land for a certain amount of years, maybe. Not actually entirely sure. They've got a truce with them for another 3 years, so that will at least delay them. So if we could get colonization, we could maybe start colonizing areas like Lindi, which does in fact have iron and coal. So that's very useful. Plus we can have stuff like cotton plantations, dye plantations and all that. Unfortunately no opium or silk, but that's not really a thing that you can do in most of Africa, to be fair. Like in North Africa there's a little bit... I think there is a bit of silk, but at least opium there is some in here. And well, I suppose it's more in the Middle East where the silk is. But yeah, that's a problem there. Or that's one of the problems that we'll be having. Oh, we actually got pretty decent legitimacy. 74. And we banned the slavery. Huzzah. I do wonder, actually, is the landowners, they are still probably a bit upset. They are still pro-slavery, but I think that should eventually drop. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, and what's this then? Oh, right, they're fighting against the remainder of Kenya there. Alright then. We don't have anything else queued up other than the tooling workshop, so that's probably something... I mean, we are going to get the tooling workshop done soon. The textile is it... Right, the fabric price is probably a little bit on the high end still. So we could just get another livestock farm in here. We're also getting a millet farm in northern Madagascar, and then a glasswork in southern Madagascar. Okay, that could be quite interesting. We don't necessarily need a lot more porcelain. No, actually, we do need porcelain. Alright then. But that also means that we'll probably need a bit more dye plantations, so I'm going to queue up one of those to be there already. Oh wow, we've got less than 10,000 radicals versus 400,000 loyalists. It's pretty decent. Oh, appointed burghers has a bit of a support there. And landowners are still a bit upset. Not too much though. That would put it to -9 again though. So not exactly the best. But there is a pretty good support for the law. I mean, 15% chance isn't that much, but that would increase the taxation capacity, to be fair, and intelligence's political strength. So I could try passing it. If we can reduce the... I mean, landowners now down to 35%. So that's already pretty decent. Oh, and mandatory service completed. Good. Yeah, so landowners are upset. We can't... Well, petite bourgeoisie... Ooh, actually, we could bring petite bourgeoisie into the government. Because that's, as a matter of fact, going to start increasing the chance. Now we've got 25% chance of passing the law. And the tooling workshop is done almost... Well, I'm going to get the centralization in 8 months, so that's still pretty far away. We might want to get another university soon enough. But now that we don't have slavery, and we don't have serfdom, the standard of living is already 11.3, so we're 85 worldwide, so we're slowly improving the sort of situation in our nation. Is there... Right, so the amount of peasants that we have is steadily dropping. there's not too many things that I can do to reduce the workforce need quite yet. We don't really have the text for that. But we do have the coal, well, we could have the coal for that at least. So once we do get some of the stuff like, well, prospecting, then there's the, well, that doesn't, technically speaking, unlock that, but that's going to lead to nitroglycerin and all that. But atmospheric engine, mechanical tools is also going to start reducing the worker need to some degree, I think. Not necessarily directly. But then the water tube boilers and all that. So there's a lot of things that we can research in due time. Getting a bit more livestock ranches done now. Oh, we do have a bit of a shortage of infrastructure in here. So let's go ahead and build a second port there, finally. Contested government, right. Okay, it's not too bad yet. Should be able to get this law passed. There we go. So landowners have even less political strength now, and the intelligentsia is now 16%. Okay, that's pretty decent. Is there any... If we were to reform the government now, okay, landowners alone would be 85% legitimacy. We would bring the... Oh, hold on a minute. We didn't pass the health system law yet. If we bring the devout in and try passing that, industrialists would hate that, but at the same time, it's not going to be too bad. We are going to need a bit more infrastructure. Or not infrastructure, government administration. We're going to build one in southern Madagascar at least. Did we have the... Right, so we've got 2 levels in there. We've got 2 levels on the coal mine. So if we were to put in this to use the gas street lighting, we can. It's going to give a lot more services. The service price is going to be actually quite low at this stage. We might want to build another coal mine here for future use. I don't suppose in the logging camps... Right, so that could produce hardwood, but I'm not going to do that. We don't need the hardwood that badly. But yeah, landowners are rather upset, admittedly. And I'm guessing our heir... Wait a minute. Our ruler has changed. Okay, the ruler is the little part of the landowners. Who's your heir? I don't think we have an heir yet. Oh, right, now I can abolish the Tangina already. Okay, so there we go. That means that the mortality is going to start dropping, which means that the population is going to start increasing a lot more. There we go. Well, that was definitely good news. And then, slowly but surely, we should start working on increasing our military a little bit. Like, we only got 20 battalions. They're not particularly good quality as that. Of course, we don't really have any... Well, we don't have any options to improve them yet. So there's that, I suppose. I don't think there's too much... I was supposed to... Oh, we got a second text somewhere. Right, we should probably use the... Or start producing more clothing. So the clothing price is going to start dropping. Centralization unlocks more taxation capacity, and home affairs could be increased at this stage. Right, so we don't have anything being researched. Let's go for the military. Let's get the dry docks. Help that one done, or get completed. And then let's get the admiralty. And after that, we can get some production stuff again. But we need to start working on getting a bit of a fleet at least. Being able to get a bit more harbors would be quite nice. So if we want to open up the trade policy, I suppose we haven't gotten the tech for that yet. That'd be the international trade. Right now we're getting the law enforcement, and after that there's still democracy and a few other things that we haven't unlocked. And colonization. Health taxes. We can afford taking that from the tax income. Minus 500, we are still going to be making money. Speaking of which, we are on medium taxation. We don't actually want to reduce that too much. We'll just leave that as is. I did just realize that if we wanted to, we could put in the road maintenance decrees in both of these for the time being. That means that the charity hospitals won't be passed quite as quickly, but at least at the same time we will have at least a bit of extra infrastructure available. So that's probably not too bad. And I don't suppose there's a lot of immigration into our nation, because I'm pretty sure that Malagasy is basically just in my nation. Let's have a look. Population, Malagasy, globally. Right, so it's the same numbers more or less. So globally, how much do we actually have globally? I suppose if it's the same standard of living, then probably it's just mostly mine. But yeah, anyway, regardless, we don't have a lot of accepted cultures that could be moving in, I reckon. There might be a few, but not a lot. Injured farmers, try and offer help, so that's 10% or, oh, a bit more mortality, but a lot more chance of passing this. We're going to focus on establishing healthcare. So now we've got 76% chance of passing this. And I'm pretty sure that that is going to pass now. So we've got the devout and the landowners in government right now, which is probably fine. Intelligentsia is fairly influential already as well. But I don't think the landowners and intelligentsia like one another all that much. So we got air. Oh, we got air from intelligentsia. Okay, good. Unfortunately, the prince is currently only age 2, so we might have to go with the landowners for a while longer. Looking a little bit around the world, so North German Federation hasn't really expanded that much. The British have started colonizing a lot more in Africa. They haven't gone into Maasai yet. They've started heading into... Actually, no, they haven't gone out of Kenya yet, because they got stopped in here. So that's good news. Getting another port built, although we, technically speaking, don't need it right now. We've got a innovation of about 60. We could have up to 80 at this stage, at max innovation. I mean, to be fair, the literacy rate has been going up a decent bit, so it's almost 20% by now. So that's definitely good in there. We are still making some money. How's the wood and fabric prices? It's not too bad. So we could potentially afford building another construction sector. Let's build on one more in there. Although at that stage we'll... Oh, there we go, charity hospitals. So less mortality, more divine political strength, which is probably fine. Is there any more laws that we could pass with you there? So we banned the slavery, and we abolished the serfdom. We got these two already. We got the appointed bureaucrats, so at this stage it's mostly just waiting to get rid of the traditionalism, which would increase the taxation that we can do, among other things. There's no institutions that we can upgrade. I mean, we don't have bureaucracy for that anyway. There we go. I think we are a lot better situated than what we were in the previous run. And it's only 1859. So, not really that far into the game yet. 14 years? No. Hold on a minute. 24 years. Well, almost. And the amount of radicals. It is actually going up and down a little bit in here. But at the same time, it's not really too bad. The lawyers have gone down. Yeah, they're now going down quite a bit. But I suppose the landowners don't like me all that much. And the standard of living probably hasn't been increasing as much. There we go. We've got the tridocks, industrial barriers. I think unequal treatment cannot stand. I think we're going to go with that one. Oh, right. So the industrialists now want to push for the no healthcare system. They're not radical, at least, so that's fine. And we've still got the journal entry for religion, autocracy, and nationality. Which we're probably going to get at some point. Or once that timer expires there. Still making money. We got over 300,000 in gold reserves, and we could have up to 700,000. That's not too bad. Do we have no, we don't have government administrations buildings right now. We do. Oh right, we're going to get a filing cabinet. Right, that's going to fix our issues there. The paper mills, on the other hand, could use a bit of an upgrade at some point then. But let's also put this one to the filing cabinets. So the paper price is going to be increasing, no doubt, but now we've got some extra bureaucracy, which means that if we had any institutions to increase in level, we could do that now. But there we go. No faction is really hating us, so that's definitely good news. And the landowners only have 26% of the cloud, so that's quite interesting actually. Let's have a look through here. So why do they have that much? Well, there's monarchy and peasant levy. Oh, peasant levies, right. If I reform the government to bring in the armed forces into control, could I pass the professional army? Landowners would hate that. Rule folk would actually like that. But yeah, I would rather pass that one, so I can have a bit more barracks. But now that we got a decent pop growth at least, yeah, 30,000 per year, that's... Well, especially since first we reduced the plus 10% mortality, and then we also got the charity hospitals was another minus 5% for the mortality rate, so that's minus 15% essentially. Now we just reduce, so yeah, it is going to be quite an increase in there. Now, of course, it's not going to be instant, and eventually we're going to run out of workers in here unless we start expanding a lot, or getting a lot of the things that reduce the worker need, which, to be fair, we probably need to go for. We've got the grocery. Okay, it's the food industry. It is employed fully, so we could give this another level. There we go, that's going to be done. We are going to get the construction sector done very shortly. Oh, and there's a dye plantation being made by the... Oh, they're getting a banana plantation as well. Okay, and expanding the tooling work. Oh, they're building another tooling workshop in fact. Oh, Great Britain expel our diplomats. Right, I have a feeling that we might be in trouble. They are currently Well, they're not... Oh, they're supporting USA against... Okay. Right, so they're supporting USA down here. Alright then, well... Good old British imperialism, I suppose. Or helping the Americans to expand there. Oh well. Right, so I suppose in that case, if they are a bit bad against me, I don't suppose... No, I can't improve relations with France. Let's have a look at the diplomacy. So, who is... Egypt is supporting of me. We've got genial relations with there. Who else? Galeti is genial. A lot of these small nations are genial. Britain is domineering, so they probably want to bring me into their market or something, or to get a treaty port or something. There's not too many options for us, which is a bit of a shame. And our military is definitely poor. There's no way, or two ways around that, unfortunately. We are going to be focusing on a little bit of military tech. I think what we're going to do is, after the admiralty, we're going to go for the line infantry, then the artillery, and hoping that the other techs will slowly catch up with the things that we need in the meanwhile. But yeah, the goal for this series, well, we don't have a strict goal, but like one of the goals is to have a literacy rate of at least 70% by the end of the game, which we'll probably reach, and then have a fairly high hospitals. Like it's a bit of just, you know, memes about Madagascar in Plague Incorporated or something like that, where it's very hard to get diseases in there. Right, so it's minus 10% chance or minus 15% chance. I don't want to lose bureaucracy this time around, so we'll just stop that law from passing. Or trying to pass that law. And police, well, I mean, we could try passing the police stuff, but I don't think we necessarily need it right now. If we were to reform the government, is there anything... I suppose there's the petite bourgeoisie. Let's have a look at what they could do. Probably not a lot. Well, there is the... No, there's actually nothing in there. Taxation laws we could... Well, we don't have the... Right, we need to get out of traditionalism. Right, that makes sense. There's the local police force, which is supported by both of those. We don't have the dedicated police force unlocked yet. If we did, then we could pass that one, actually. I'm surprised that the landowners support that, to be fair, but yeah, that could definitely work. Prison is damaging relations. Language in classrooms. We could probably increase the assimilation a little bit. At least in theory, right, so we're getting a bit more radicals, but it's still less than 10,000 right now, so I'm not too worried about that. We have lost quite a bit of loyalists, though, over the past year. But yeah, Britain is something that I probably won't be able to fight. Depends a lot on... Oh, relations neutral. Right, I can't improve relations with them. Is there... Actually, let's have a look. Diplomatic place. Who would be in here? Portugal is someone that I could maybe improve relations with. So let's improve relations with Portugal. I don't think they'd be much of a help against the British, to be fair. The French, we've got good relations. And I think they might support me if I give them some... things. So if I could get Kenya, that'd be brilliant. But I don't think that's a possibility, let's be honest. But if we can just say independent, then I'm okay with that. If they force me to open my market, then that's something that I wouldn't mind. But I don't think that's going to be the only thing that they'd be demanding. I think they want a treaty port, one way or another. There we go, law enforcement unlocked. So now we could try passing the law for it. The dedicated police force. We've got plenty of bureaucracy for this. And it's going to be passing fairly quickly. It's not going to give the landowners anything extra. That's also good. A bit less radicals from standard of living decreases at least. Oh, now they started colonizing Rift Valley once again. Yeah, right there. So Maasai, well, you had your chance of peace there, I suppose. Now they're coming again. Ooh, food industry is almost done, so we need to build some more. I mean, we are losing a bit of cash here, but what do we need in our market? More groceries, more fabric, grain. Okay, grain is definitely something we do need. So I'm just going to build a couple millet farms. We're using the tools in here already, so that's at least reducing some of the labor use in there. We'll probably need to get a little bit more to that sort of stuff as well. So the food industry is going to be done very shortly. And then the millet farm is probably going to be done fairly quickly as well. So expensive... Oh, fabric is expensive. Alright. Getting the tooling workshop in the south as well. Which, to be fair, the tool price is... Well, it's a little bit elevated. It's not too bad right now. Getting a bit of a boost for that probably doesn't hurt. Grocery price is still fairly high, although it should be going down. Especially since we're hiring more people, but now the grain price is going up, so that's not really helping with the standard of living at all. But we are getting a few more farms. As soon as we get the intensive agriculture over here, then that will help a lot. But of course, the spread of these techs is not very quick. I suppose another thing that well, we're losing a lot of money right now, so perhaps we shouldn't do that. Construction price is quite expensive. Is that because, oh, right, because fabric price is pretty high. And wood price is also increasing again a little bit. It's not too bad. I suppose the fabric is something that we need to get a couple more livestock ranches or something. We could actually have a lot more in the southern Madagascar, to be fair. So we got neutral relations with Britain. So in theory, they could declare their war if they wanted to. Oh, there we go. We got the police force. Let's have a look at the institutions. Is there any levels that we could increase the law enforcement by another level? There's another 23 bureaucracy that would have to pay for that, but that's probably alright. Let's get that done. Then if we were to change the laws, is there... Right, you can't pass any of those laws. Is the armed forces, they only have 8.7% support there. And intelligentsia, I don't think would be a valid option necessarily. Yeah, no, that would be pretty bad for the legitimacy. I suppose we could go for the devout in the government. I don't think it's going to open up a lot of laws to be passed, to be fair. There's the censorship, but that's probably not something I want to do. Tax spread is going to be reduced. Police force, bureaucrats, we don't want to go back to the hereditary ones either, so we'll probably just stay on these laws for the time being. That'll probably be okay, to be fair. Until we get the agrarianism as an option to pass, which, to be fair for that, we need... Oh, we are getting romanticism, so in theory, we might get that in due time. So if we were to switch to that, who would support that? Industrialists, rural folk, trade unionists, landowners would oppose that. Because if we were to get industrialists into power... Now, I know that this is not great switching governments constantly. It would be pretty bad legitimacy. And that meant time would be increased. If we do that, we'll stop bolstering you. We'll start bolstering the industrialists. And then we could pass the interventionism, which would actually be a lot better than the agrarianism anyway. And then we can start switching the taxation laws and all that sort of stuff. Like, capital taxation is something that the industrialists do support, so we can keep them in power. There we go. Let's see if we can pass this. Probably not immediately, but over time, there's a chance. Oh, there we go. Prospecting unlocked. Good. And resource boom. I'll take more resource throughput in the south. Good. Native uprising in Congo. Oh, right. The British are having wars over there, so they haven't declared war on me yet, at least. I suppose there is a chance that if we have a look again the relations, so Egypt is supporting, they might support me. Oh, right, North German Federation and Austria fighting a war. France is cautious about me. Is there a reason for that? They view me as a natural enemy. Alright then, that's not great. I do not want to become a protectorate necessarily, although it's protectorate... doesn't say that that would be paying anything. But we would be put into the French market, which, to be fair, is not the worst market to be in. Right, now we need to get some livestock ranches, or we are building some livestock ranches. Did we get another university yet? We got 3 in there. Oh, Britain colonized Tanganyika. They started heading through here. So we've got to be... Oh, Admiralty unlocked. Oh, finally. So now, well, we don't have the income right now, so what we do need to do is start reducing some of the high prices of stuff like fabric, which... we can't do too much about other than livestock ranches, which means that the meat price is going to be basically nothing. Actually, are we... we are using the butchering tool somewhere. Over here, we could probably reduce that. Well, maybe it doesn't need to be reduced. But yeah, we're going to get 2 livestock ranches there in the north. In the south, we've got a decent bit of workforce still. The coal price isn't too bad. I'm going to build another coal mine just in case. And then the glasswork over here is producing porcelain, which is fine. We don't use a lot of glass right now, so if we were to go for the market stalls, does that reduce the workforce? No, not really. It just switches them to other things, and it would actually be at loss for us. But I suppose another coal mine won't hurt. Another logging camp could probably be okay as well. Seems like it would be making pretty good profit there. A textile mill is probably also quite a good profit overall. Oh, yeah. But I suppose that's largely the cost is with the high fabric cost. Otherwise, we probably would be... Well, actually, no. I don't think we'd be producing more. But I suppose we need to do that before we can increase the... Or we need to get some more fabric before we can afford increasing all that. So now the police force, it's... Yeah, it'll be done soon enough. So standard of living decreases will be reducing. So slowly but surely we'll start increasing, well, both population and standard of living, and, well, GDP is also slowly growing. Portugal refuses to become protector of North German Federation. Alright then, so yeah, there's this war, it hasn't, no, it has actually started already. Both sides have taken quite a bit of losses. So you want to conquer Tyrol and take German leadership. And you want to humiliate North German Federation and open North German market. Okay. Wait, do they have... They got mercantilism. Right, so it's probably just to end their embargo or something. And Britain's got a little bit of stuff already in here. Not too much that I can do about it, though. Is there any good taxes that we could put in? Coffee is 300, but that's not really... Oh, law debate failed. Okay, so we've got 6% chance of passing the interventionism. Not necessarily going to get that law, then. There we go, we got law enforcement at least. So slowly but surely... Or increase the level on that. Slowly but surely things are getting better. I wonder, if we go for butchering tools, that would increase the tool consumption a lot, so maybe not that great right now. We're losing almost £3,000 per week, though. So we could increase the taxes. That would probably cover that. Or we could just hope for the interventions in pass and then change the tax laws and all that. We've got a few options, at least. Of course, there's no guarantee that this one will pass right now, but... Ooh, unacceptable recovery. Right, yeah, that's causing some issues. But landowners and industrialists aren't necessarily the closest of buddies, let's just say. So now we're slowly turning into taking debt already. Oh, light infantry is being retouched. Industrial barriers. The Deval can lose a little bit more approval. Yeah, improved relations with Portugal. Oh, there we go, light infantry. Now, we don't have the guns for it, so we can't necessarily... Oh, right, it's spreading the artillery already. Let's double check if we've got anything queued up after that. Not really. So I suppose what I could do... Oh, hold on a minute. Yeah, let's put in the romanticism just in case. That's going to increase our prestige regardless, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. Either way. Then the atmospheric engine seems like a good idea. And then after that we'll see what we need. But at least we are getting a little bit advancing in the military section of things. So slowly but surely we could... Well, if we had iron, we could have an army. But since we don't have iron, we can't really have an army. Or proper army, at least. But at the same time, slowly but surely, once we get into more of the automation techs, we will have a bit larger portion of the population free to use in military conquest and all that. Oh, right, the Dutch East Indies have done a lot of colonization here. Not exactly surprising, to be fair. But I suppose my problem right now is that I can't declare interest anyway. Partially because I don't have the prestige for that. But also... Or prestige to be of the next rank. We need to become rank 52. Oh, if the prestige becomes 52, rank will increase the unrecognized regional power, which would give us at least one more. Although that's mostly just going to be dependent on the GDP, I reckon. But I do realize that we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.